Can you hear me now? Hopefully everyone can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay, you can hear me and you can see me. Somebody else said no video, but I think everyone else can see me. We always have just a little bit of sound problems with the channel. If you get a clear channel, you're going to get so many things come in. Guys, I've invested in so many microphones, so many webcams, so many video cameras, and I've broken them all. So again, what I was saying, if you're watching this live with me right now and you're not a member of Patreon, you'll get more live access to be able to answer your questions and sit with me, not just for shamanic ceremonies like today, but for channelings and for direct alchemy teachings and spiritual development classes that go pretty deep over on patreon.com/Pamela Aaralyn. So again, it's Patreon, patreon.com/Pamela Aaralyn. Busy 2 to 3 times a week, 3 to 4 weeks out of the month over there. So that's how you find me. I love the shamanic ceremonies because everyone gets a chance to go into their own journeys. And when I offer this at level 2 at Patreon, what we do is we call in our ancestors. I don't know why you can't see or hear anything. Probably it's sound options and video options on your end. When we go into these, we call in our ancestors and we kind of just sit with it and really bring in everything that we need to release. So in today's ceremony, what I've got with me is my drum, which always represents my connection to Gaia. See how powerful this one is. And as an initiated shaman, out of all the drums that I've had in my life, this is absolutely my favorite one. What else have I brought with me for clearing and representation of air? We have brought in a shamanic tool created by my shaman. His name is Steve Allen. He's exceptional. And as you can see, it's made with leather from hide and an interesting little tool that he's put there, Lemurian crystal, and a bunch of feathers that he got from hawks that made a connection to him, and he has blessed them and done everything appropriately as per his ancestors and what they would have him do. So I love that particular tool. I've also brought along some sage. I'll make sure I've got my lighter. Yes, I do. I brought along some sage, and it is particular to, and some lavender and some sweetgrass mixed in. And this sage is from Antelope Island and from another one of my favorite shamans. Her name is Pennywick. So that lavender comes from her and the sage comes from Antelope Island here by me. And then I brought along to represent ether some frankincense and myrrh resin. So we burn that very carefully. So if you're going to burn this along with me, make sure that you put it in something that isn't going to burn your house down. And then we have some water. All right. We're going to go into about 2:30. And everyone, oh, and so far as where to get this frankincense and resin, I got it from the Linen Company in Australia. And then just showing you where I get some of my supplies here. There you have it. All right. Okay. Let's just kind of breathe, focusing on the element of air and breathing in. We'll go ahead and light our sage, calling in our ancestors. As we light the sage, what I would like for you to do is focus on your intention. The human conscious collective intention that's coming to me today has to do with acceptance and release of anxiety. Those are the two things that are coming to me today. So that's my personal intention, acceptance and release of anxiety. So for those of you who want to set your own personal intentions, you don't have to follow mine. This is just what I felt from the Human Conscious Collective insofar as what we need. All right. So as we do this together, I want you to really focus on what your intention is. Here we go. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Grounding with your feet on the floor or either in lotus position. Sometimes the lavender takes a little bit longer to light than any of the other stuff that I use. So just be patient with me here for a moment as we make sure that we get a really good light on all the sage and all the lavender and sweetgrass that we have. It's pretty strong once it does get lit. Okay, representing fire. All right. We are calling in our ancestors right now and the great spirits in all four corners of earth, north, south, east, and west. Pulling in from the great spirits of the wind and medicine wheel south in particular for the cleansing and release. Our intention is acceptance and release of anxiety. There you go. There's some in your direction. All right. We're making sure that we cover all the corners of the room here. So we had north. Okay. Gonna back up and do south. Here we go. Gonna go over here to east. Here we go. And now back over here to those of you who are in the west. Now we're going to go ahead and focus on the element of ether to pull in our ancestors through the dimensions, throughout the connection of all space and time. So in order to pull in our ancestors through the ether, I would like for you to consider invoking them with this particular incantation and following me along with your heart or out loud if you choose. This is frankincense and myrrh combination here. Pulling in our ancestors through the element of ether, through the cosmos, through the space of all time infinitum. Once I get it lit, we'll go through our invocation together. It's harder to light the charcoal that's underneath, so I'm making sure that I get everything. Smells good. I wish you were here with me. I invoke the I am in me to invite the essence of my ancestors for their protection and my protection, for their assistance throughout the space of all time infinitum. I call upon my ancestors to invite me into my sacred shape and theirs, covering north, south, east, and west throughout the space of all time infinitum. All right. And now we're going to get the drum. And we're going to call in the song of our ancestors right now. And I'll share mine with yours as well. And as we perform and connect in this part of this ceremony, I would really like for you to pull your intention of release and acceptance, release of anxiety, acceptance of all that is in the highest and best in your particular purpose, your unique spiritual development, and what calls you in your hearts right now. And just pull all of that intention from your head and exhale it down into your heart. Are you ready? Breath number 3, and then we'll begin with the song of our ancestors. Grounding into Mother Earth now. universal beat of all consciousness. Envision your sacred shape around you. Call in the ancestors that will serve you right now. Connecting your heartbeat with theirs. The heartbeat as one. You feel it? Down to your feet. Let's pull it down. Down to your feet. Feel their hearts and yours beating in your feet. Up to the crown, all the way up. Connecting to the crown to the root chakra. Inviting the energy and the flow of all that is between. Speeding up the heartbeat a little. Connect back to the heart, back to the center. Everything starts in the heart. Envision your sacred shape around you. Whatever comes is relevant. And ask your ancestors, what is in my highest and best for acceptance right now? You ready to release? If there's anything within you that you just want to let go, that you just feel isn't quite serving you in your path, what is it that you really want to release right now? The human conscious collective told me today that it's acceptance. So what is it for you? We accepted and now we release the anxiety. Are you ready? Acceptance is what we asked for. Anxiety is what we're releasing. That means what to you personally? Trust, flow, going into all that is within your highest and best. Are you ready for that? Connecting again, universal heartbeat. here while we turn the drum like that. That is a connection to all sides of Gaia, all components of Mother Earth when we use the drum. North, south, east, west, all the ley lines, this way, that way. You beat the drum this way, you're connecting to all that is within the Trinity. And you are what's important. This heartbeat right here. You feeling it? Calling upon great spirit of air. Imagine that your spirit animal is coming to you right now. Mine is a bird. And as I visualize and connect with her right now, it's white and gray. Become the bird. Think in a different spirit animal. Invite the essence of that animal to merge with you. Become them. Just wherever you are right now, dance it out. If you're the bird with me, fly. Bird has a bit of a different song. Down to your feet for a moment, grounding back into Mother Earth, reconnecting with the spirits of the air. And now we join in with the great spirit of water. If you've got some in front of you, go ahead. If you don't, run and get some real quick. I'll wait. This is a very important part of the ceremony. So let's give everyone a moment just to grab yourself some water. Okay, and what you're going to do in the water portion of the ceremony, I want you to place your right hand, if it is your dominant. If you're a lefty, go ahead and put your left here, okay? All right? And this is the way that you infuse water. Water is your connection between all that is, All right. So I want you to breathe in from Gaia. Breathe in from Mother Earth. And then exhale in through the crown, through your feet if they're on the ground, through your tailbone if you're sitting yoga style. So pull that in either through your tailbone or through your toes as they connect to Gaia, and pull it in through your nose all the way up and out your hand. Out your hand. I want you to think about the intention. What is in your highest and best to receive from Gaia right now? What does she want to give you? What is in your highest and best you could really use in your life? And this should be an emotion, not an object, not anything material, okay? This is about how you want to feel. What is the blessing of the feeling state that you will be pulling in from Gaia right now as she blesses you? Because she's ready. So we're going to do this 3 times with our intention. Again, mine is acceptance, all right? So here we go. I want you to imagine what color is acceptance if it had one. And you don't have to be able to visualize to do this process. Maybe it has a sound. Maybe you can't see it, but you just know that acceptance is pink. That's for me. That knowingness is pink, okay? So for me, it's pink. For you, it could be something else, and that's completely okay. So here we go, 3 breaths. Out through your hand into the glass. In through your feet. Out through your hand into the water. Okay, one more. Cheers to acceptance. Water is so powerful. And now I want you to think about what spirit animal do you want to pull in these last few moments to cleanse and release and to bring in whatever you need and to release any particles and molecules within your cellular DNA that you want to let go of. When you inhale, you're going to remember that color. What is it? It was pink for me, and acceptance was the intention. And upon the exhale, anxiety, fear, doubt, worry, fears of being seen. I'm just listening and listing many of the feeling signatures that the Human Conscious Collective has asked me to help you let go of today, but you can have your own. What color is that for me? I almost spilled it on myself too. For me, releasing all that is kind of a yucky, gross, slimy dark green. So when I exhale, that's what's coming out. And when I inhale, what's coming in is the pink, the acceptance. Are you ready? I'm feeling right now that the representation for the Human Conscious Collective in water is the otter. That's what's coming to me right now for you guys. And you could have your own water animal to represent that element. But for me, it's the otter, and we're going to call in the song of the otter. You ready? Connect back to your own heartbeat, merging again with the heartbeat of Gaia. Merging your heartbeat with hers. Thanking all your ancestors for helping today and assisting, bringing out the highest and best and releasing that which no longer serves. We thank you. Pulling your heartbeat back, recentering back into your body, and grounding. Back down to Mother Earth. Ready? Again. One more time. That's so much fun. Thank you guys for sitting in on the Shamanic Ceremony. Again, we do these twice a month normally, sometimes once if things get really busy, depending upon how many channels we have over at Patreon. But we do these pretty regularly, again, at patreon.com/Pamela Aaralyn. And then we do various spiritual development classes, live Q&As, and 3 to 4 channels a month. So I hope to see you there because I'm not quite here as often on YouTube. I just felt today that I should let the entire collective in on this because it felt so important. There's been so many shifts going on. And I don't know if you're feeling it as strongly as I am as an empathic channel, but there was so much angst and anger and frustration, anxiety and tension and just a gnawing, like humans want to be angry and take back their power and reclaim who they are. And that is completely fine. If anger came up for you in this ceremony, let that be what honors you until you're ready to release that too. Remember, acceptance always has to come, before release can, So I loved it. I really did. And what do we have coming up next? Human Conscious Collective Channeling on January the 26th. And then Dolores Cannon on January the 29th, both at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for an hour to an hour and a half, interviewed and hosted by Candace Carl-Goldman, who will be fielding the questions while I am in trance. So the Human Conscious Collective is going to be a big one. I feel it coming up. I feel like this is the channeling that for the past 3 years, this is the one that I've felt the most, that I felt is absolutely the most important. So I will see you then for those channelings. I love you and thank you for being here. Namaste.